Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Tell Me About Your Jesus podcast. I'm Brian, and I'm here with Shane, and we're just two ordinary people talking about our extraordinary God. We hope what you hear today helps you see how God moves in our lives.
All right, guys. Thank y'all for joining us again today. Got the next episode of Tell Me About Your Jesus podcast. Of course, I'm here with Brian, and we have guests Lane and Amanda.
Hey,
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
how are y'all?
All right.
Doing good. Thank you for joining us today. Venturing up in the hot weather today.
Thanks for
Yeah,
having us.
absolutely.
Anytime you get outside the AC, it's tough.
Yeah.
So, this is my first time to meet you guys. We've just been talking for a few minutes, so I'm really looking forward to hearing how you guys know each other. Shane, I think you're the ones that mentioned the podcast. I think you said that as soon as it went live.
Yeah, within the first couple times I posted, Lane texted me and was like, "Hey, I wanna be on there. When you have time, I want to be on there." So
Yeah, and I want to say y'all are probably like the most prepared people we've ever had. I mean, Amanda, I think you brought like four. I think you brought like 4 Bibles. There was like a Dead Sea Scroll. I mean, this intimidates me right here. This leather bound book, but I know it's got something good in it.
It does.
We're both note takers.
Okay.
So,
Well,
Okay.
yeah, that in my brain. As soon as the thought comes, if I don't write it down, it's gone. It's gone.
So I used to be a note taker, but I lost all my notes. So I went to doing it on my iPad, which for better or for worse, that's where I put it. But at least now I can find them if I ever want to do it. But I like that notebook you got there. That's really cool.
We all the ladies in the Chanel family, we have one. My mother-in-law gets them for us, and my sister-in-law engraves our name, and it's just my special notebook full of stuff I take down from church.
Okay. Yeah. Well, one of the other ladies, Ginger, was talking about a notebook that she had that she kind of put stuff in. It's kind of similar to that.
I can't do the notes because I find myself paying more attention to what I'm writing and I'm not listening to the sermon. And I'm like, so I just put the notes down.
Yeah.
And then I just try to remember it in my crappy little brain.
I'm
Hope for the best.
I have to hear it and see it multiple times.
I'm doing all the above, multitasking. I'm keeping up with him, documenting, and I've got about half his sermon documented by the time he gets done.
Okay. Nice. I didn't ask you guys where you went to church.
Church Old Town.
Okay. Old Town, Helena, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I love it.
Love it.
How long y'all been there?
I think a couple years now.
We started right after COVID.
Yeah,
Okay.
at that one. Prior to that,
Probably going on 3 years.
Yeah, prior to that, we were Crossbridge Community Church. I think from 2011 till when COVID hit, and we just felt led. It was time to make a change,
Sure.
and our kids were kind of like the age group was playing out, and they were looking for, like we're not getting fed anymore, and it's
Yeah.
And then I started feeling that way too. I was like, this isn't where I need to be, and
Sure.
it was time.
That happens, right? And
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But it was a blessing for the time that we were there.
I think God puts us in different places at different
Yeah,
seasons,
absolutely.
right? And there's a time those seasons end, and it's time to do something else.
That's right.
I get
There's
it.
times that you need to hear something else that you're not going to get with this person or that person. Or
Well, and
Absolutely.
if you look like the church is a body,
Well,
maybe you need to be part of that body to do a specific function there that they need.
Right.
yeah,
when I feel like I quit growing at a church, it's time to relocate.
Yeah,
To
absolutely.
find somewhere else that I can be fed and that she can be fed and that we can grow. And because if you're not growing, you're going stagnant.
Right.
Really, I mean, your life, you're called as a follower of Christ to continue to learn, to grow, to lean into Him.
Sure.
And I mean, if we're not leaning into Him, we're leaning into the world.
Sure.
So I looked at it as a new opportunity, and I have a hard time not getting overly involved, so I've kind of had to step back this time and just be more of a listener.
Sure.
Yeah, there's a middle ground there. You can
Yeah.
be too involved.
So-
and-
I wanted to ask more about that in a few minutes because I think I have some similar words about that. And I hate to even do this since we're talking some pretty deep stuff already, but I kind of want to get to know y'all a little better. So,
Yeah.
Shane, you had an icebreaker? Or?
yeah. I want to start with, and I just did the cardinal sin and hit the table. But you have one meal at one restaurant, anywhere you want to go, no price limit, doesn't matter. What's the restaurant? And the bonus question for 0 points extra, what's the meal?
Can I ask if it's like within 5 minutes of here? Are you buying dinner tonight?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I
I
ate
say my
crystals.
stomach's gonna start growling here.
I ate crystals on the way up here. I'm good.
All right.
You want to go?
Oh,
Yeah.
I know mine.
We'll start with you then.
Marina Cafe in Destin, Florida.
Okay.
Their arugula, fancy little salad is the best thing ever.
You can get,
With a steak.
okay. I think so. You get one free meal and you're getting a salad.
No, that's just the starter. It's just the starter, and then you get a big, all juicy fillet.
Okay.
Oh my goodness!
I like it.
And you end it with one of their desserts.
Cool. Lane?
I don't think I've ever had a favorite meal from a restaurant.
Lane just likes
So,
food from
I
everywhere.
just like food. So,
Well, what's your favorite restaurant? Though? Like if you know.
off the top of my head, I mean, I'm big on Mexican food. I mean, we like Los Arcos, Helena.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
if I, usually the, which one was it? It's that Cancun nacho deal they do. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's loaded with about everything you can imagine on it.
Okay.
Just about can't finish it.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
You
Right.
also like the wing place in Destin, though. Island Wings.
island wings.
I see a theme here that Destin is a favorite place,
Kind of
right?
my favorite.
Man, I don't know. I was gonna say. So we got to eat at the fancy place down at Disney World for our anniversary, like 12 years ago. It was really good, Victoria and Albert's. So it's like fine dining. Like you sit down and they say, "What country would you like your water from? Would you like Iceland water? We went with Scotland water." And then, like, when the waiter brings out the dish, he's telling you basically the life story of whatever you're eating there that's on the plate. So it's like next level.
So you get a history lesson also.
You really
Wow.
do. That's probably the nicest meat place we've ever eaten at together.
That's
That's cool.
But man, that Terry Black's barbecue, where they're in Austin, where
never been there.
I had a beef rib, and it melted in my mouth. I didn't have to chew it.
We need to get out more.
I guess.
What about you,
But
Shane?
here I'm going to Taco Casa.
Taco Casa.
Ah,
Local.
I'm going to Fleming's. I'm getting a ribeye. It's super fancy. It's super expensive, but it's probably the best ribeye I've ever had. It was good.
Okay.
Your
All
question?
right. This is probably not good since none of us have eaten except for Shane. My question was, what's your favorite Little Debbie snack cake?
Oh, Lord. I hadn't had a Little Debbie in years.
What?
Well, and that's why you look like you do, and the way I look the way I do. You don't get a body like this by saying no to Little Debbie's and not
Okay.
eating that a lot.
Me and Big Deborah are friends.
I don't like any of them.
What?
I don't.
What? No Little Debbie?
I don't.
Well, we thank y'all for coming and joining us today. That's the wrap
me
up.
over.
For the
I'm
last
sorry, I don't.
for the last 5-6 months, I've like been hammering it, working out 5 to 6
Okay.
days a week, and
Okay.
trying to make some health changes. After
Nice.
her little episode back in November, I
Oh yeah.
decided it was time to change because I looked at myself in the mirror and was like, you're
Well-
getting kind of heavy, fella.
You realize you might have to carry me
And
me again, and
as a husband, you come to reality when you have to carry your wife, who is pretty much lifeless, and run for the truck. You better be in shape if you have to ever cross that bridge again. So
Wow. He just shamed us right off the bat. Too,
I feel like we're about
I couldn't
to
run to the truck.
no,
I don't know if I can run to the Bowflex downstairs.
I'll be honest with y'all. I thought I was going to die that day. I was trying to get her, but
I did that.
it goes pretty deep.
All right, we're gonna have to stop the Little Debbie question because I got to hear more about this. What happened?
So I
And
mean,
this may or may not be what you want to talk about, but man,
we'll
I'd
tell
love
it.
to hear.
It's part of a testimony too.
Yeah,
So we can
absolutely.
go back to our beginning. She and I didn't start off on the right foot. We actually decided we were going to do the live-in thing, and boyfriend, girlfriend, live together. That's where we got our experience and knowing it don't work. And child, she was pregnant out of wedlock, so we were like, uh-oh, and got engaged. And long story short, as we began our little journey, it wasn't easy, but a lot of things we mistaked and had to go through and correct. Because I had people in my life like, hey, make it right. So I was like, okay, so we did, and we pursued doing that. And I was a runner.
Okay.
Every time, and I mean from God, every time.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
Not,
working
not
out.
physically.
I was thinking working out.
Every time somebody would come to me and try to share, I would blow them off, and what was sad is my grandfather, he was a pastor for 53 years, and I just never did take the time to really let it sink in. And then, so we're moving forward in 2011. We'd been married 5 years, and Amanda was having a bunch of sinus issues, and they had finally got to the point like she needs sinus surgery. So we're like, okay, so we agreed, and she went through it, and I'm sitting in the in the waiting room while she's in the operating room, and I hear Code Blue come across the monitor, and I was like, okay. And keep in mind, I'm not at this time following Jesus. I'm just kind of sidelined. I'm reading a Bow Hunter magazine, if it tells you my attention span. So I hear it the second time, Code Blue. I was like, it must have been one of them older folks walking in and out of here, that or somebody had come in and had a problem.
Yeah.
Well, I hear it the third time, and at the third time I look up and there's nurse, and Mr. Chanel, will you come with me? I was like, what? And she said, come with me. I was like, why? And she said, because I need you to. I was like, what happened? And she said, I can't tell you right now. Well, the news I got was she coded on the operating table 3 times.
So
Wow.
each one of those
Yep.
was your heart stopped
Heart stopped.
31 years old.
Yep.
from sinus surgery.
Blood clots. Turned loose during
way.
surgery.
Wow.
I was healthy, in great shape. Taking hormone therapy after a hysterectomy, and
So-
it caused blood clots.
You're kidding. Wow.
Wow.
It was a whopping month-long stay in the hospital, and we ended up about five days in. She's on the vent. They're talking about trying to take her off of it. We're not sure. And the doctor's like optimistic, but he's like, hey, we may take her off. She may stop breathing. Like, this is going to be like a gamble. So I was like, okay. So moving forward, I was like, I had talked to my dad, and he was like, have you called Bruce, a good friend of ours? And I said, I haven't, but he said, you need to call him. He'd be somebody good for you to talk to. Bruce was a pastor friend of mine I deer hunted with since I was a kid. So I was like, I called him. He said, I'll be there in a minute. He turns the corner, and to this day, I'll never forget it. I looked at him and said, I'm done running. He said, what? I said, I'm done running. I surrender. And he said, no, you're just full of emotion. I said, no, I'm done.
Wow.
And he said, we can talk later, but I said, no, I'm done. I was like, he's got my attention. So that was the beginning of it. But he asked if we could go back and pray with her, and I was like, yes. So we went back, and he began to pray, and she heard it. And even with all the sedation and the stuff, and
Really?
it was cool. But
I woke up right then and there.
I was going to ask what you remember
Wow.
hearing.
I remember hearing Bruce praying over me,
Right.
and I just woke up.
Hmm.
Woke up, and they got the ventilator out, told me to coughed it up, and
yeah,
I was like, what is going on?
yeah. Talking about not being coherent.
What?
What's happening? She
We had a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old.
yeah, she's like, what's happening? Why am I here?
Wow.
So the stop she wanted was Arby's and a Dr. Pepper right after we left there.
And I was like, wait a minute, this is not what I bought. This was not the deal.
So after you woke up, clots have passed. They've treated it, and you're
They treated it with blood
Discharged,
thinner. I
good to
was
go.
on Coumadin for a year.
Mm-hmm. It
Um,
didn't end there. It was a long road.
hematologist visits for
2
over
years.
a year.
No, it was 2 years because they did a blood panel on her, and
Everything came back perfectly fine. I didn't have any of clotting disorders or anything. But I couldn't be on hormone therapy
sure.
ever
Sure.
again. So
and then you
it was wild.
yeah, and then
But that's not when you carried her. That was
No,
no,
no.
that's
this is
the first time.
This is the prelude. Oh wow.
Yeah. I'm
That's
like a cat with 9 lives. We figured I got 5 more to go.
Hey, all joking aside, her dad and mom, I mean, if they could, they were here, they would tell you she almost died as a baby. It happened in 2011, and then
You're fine.
and then turned around, and so we'll move forward. So we come out hot and heavy. Bruce was pastoring the church, so I was kind of standoffish about it. I was working a lot, worked for the utility at Helena. That's actually where I first encountered Shane and Gina.
Okay.
On a not so pleasant call, but
Did you have to go cut his water back on? Is that what
no,
it
it
was?
was
No.
the guys were over there running a vac truck and sucking the sewer line, and it made their toilet kind of bubble. It was kind of funny.
Made it kind of bubble.
Yeah,
And like I called, and the little lady at
Yeah.
the switchboard was like, well, we don't have one of those trucks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ma'am, I'm standing outside looking at it.
Yep.
No, we don't have one. I'm looking at it. I will give you the license plate number.
Were you there in the truck?
And it just so happened I was the guy. So the office calls, and then I get like, hey, you need to go to this address. And I walked down there, and that's when I met Gina, and wasn't long after that I met him.
Okay. So was this at the?
At the Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was a common occurrence
I was
there.
just curious. I'm going to throw your neighborhood name out there.
I don't care. I don't live there
You live
anymore.
there,
I don't work there no more, so it's all good.
Like, I didn't have a problem with what happened. I understood what happened.
Yeah.
What made me mad was when he's like, we don't do that. I'm like, I'm looking at him doing it. You know?
But
That's funny.
moving forward, we did end up getting involved with Hope, and then the pastor was at Crossbridge Community Church, Merrill Aldridge. He had gotten sick and with colon cancer, and had gotten beyond being able to be cured. So he was too weak for anything, and Bruce and the other pastor that were at Crossbridge, Morrell wanted them to merge. So we all ended up merging
Sure.
with Crossbridge. We were there from, like I said, 2011 till I think close to, it might have even been 2010, but or 2011.
I think it was 2011.
Yeah, because it was we had kind of visited back and forth with Bruce at Hope, but we got
Yeah, we
involved
did.
we got involved with Crossbridge anyway. One thing led to another. I've led youth, and she's been involved with youth,
In preschool.
preschool, and the whole 9 yards. But
Okay. Wow.
not a guy that was afraid to grab the mic and walk up front. So
Let's say, so you went, and not to interrupt your story, but you went from a guy that was running to somebody that, this wasn't, and I see where your friend Bruce was coming from, right? When you got life bearing down on you, right? A lot of people make snap decisions that they don't really put any emphasis behind.
yes,
Right.
But that's not what I'm hearing, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like you were absolutely
I was
All in.
You ever?
All in.
I got to a point, especially right after we got married, I started cutting people in my life off that were bad for me.
that's tough.
And it was.
That's
it
tough.
hurt a lot of feelings. And I had people that were coming over that used to come eat and hang out with me. I was like, you can't be here now, because I knew they weren't a good influence for us in the situation we were in, and that was hard. So
Oh, yeah.
a lot of people that I thought were my friends, they I don't think they were really friends at all.
Well, and when we met, I had a 2-year-old, our son.
Right.
And so not only was he trying to protect me and our daughter, but he was having to look out for our 2-year-old
For
too.
Wes.
So he was, doing the right thing as he should have.
Yep. Well, moving forward, we busted through a lot of years at Crossbridge, and then when COVID hit, everything kind of
Came to a halt.
stagnant, and we're leading up to the part that we were talking about a while ago. But we ended up replaying it over and over. I caught COVID 3 different times, and it was one of them things. August of 21, I'd had enough of the municipal life. It was like working around people that weren't walking the same walk. I didn't want to be a part of the things that they wanted to be a part of. I didn't want to hear about their lifestyles anymore. And when you're caught in the way of the world, it's hard to separate yourself from what you're supposed. Like when you're around people that's worldly, it's hard to separate yourself and walk with Jesus, because they're constantly trying to draw you back into what they're a part of. So I called Amanda on August, probably, it was mid-August. I called her and I told her, I said, hey, I need to it's time for me to leave. I was working 12 days straight, and then I'd get 2 days off, and then I was 1 or 2 certified operators, so they were pretty hard about one of us being on duty.
Sure. So you really didn't get any time off because you're on call.
Nope. So moving forward, I talked to her about it. Kind of skipped back a little bit in 2019. We had lost my dad. He suddenly went into kidney failure, organ failure, and the day before my mom's birthday in August, and then we moved up to that point. From that point forward, I began to struggle there because it became real. You know, when the guy that raised you is no longer on this earth, you're like, I am next. I am what's for me.
Yeah.
And like with her, I was like, I'd almost lost her once, and then so I turned in my notice, and that's where the Chanel property management came in, and we got into land and property management for a few years.
Okay.
Which I'm not gonna lie about it. I can't handle the heat like I was, so I've had to give up that stuff.
Sure.
Well, and he had to be my babysitter. Like, he couldn't leave me alone.
Correct. And I was doing small engine repair on top of it, and we work up to last year. She'd been trying to lose weight, and I told her she was fine like she was, and she started some weight loss shots, and then to cut a long story short, we'd gone to Veterans Park, and we were and there's some cool stuff to this too, but so don't take it as all emotional.
It's real cool.
But
It's a God thing. There's no doubt.
so November 16th, we roll up Veterans Park. There, we leave the house 6:30ish. Get over right at 7. Start setting up. Everything's going good that whole day.
It was a yard sale.
On the Alabaster yard sale. So everything's going good the whole day. Everything's smooth. About 11:50, my mom looked at me and said, something's wrong with Amanda. And I said, what? She said, something's wrong with Amanda. And I turned around, it was like nobody was home. So I got down on my knees with her and started trying to get her to respond to me. She wouldn't. It's like she was dazed. Wasn't sure what was going on. So my mom, she was like, hey, you probably need to take her home. I was like, no, I need to get her to the hospital. I recognize the signs.
Yeah.
So I picked her up. My sister-in-law is a registered nurse. So she saw, and she was right behind me. So I ran for the truck. Emily jumped in the truck and opened the door, and I set her in there, and we're both trying to get her to talk to us, and nothing. And Emily grabs her by the chin, like, hey, look at me. I thought she was having a stroke by the way she was doing. Starts rolling her eyes. She said, mate, kept telling her to stick her tongue out. It's like motor skills were gone. And she started convulsing like she was beginning to have a seizure.
Oh, wow.
So both of us looked at each other real panicked. She said, get her out, lay her on the ground. So by now I'm taking orders from her because she's the professional in this case.
She's in charge.
So I snatched her out of the truck, laid her down. She said, get her on her side, rolled her on her side. And she's checked her airway, made sure nothing was there. First thing I come to my mind, not to think somebody would have done something, was like somebody dropped something in her drink when they walked by.
No, you never know.
And yeah, I mean, that's just the way I think.
Sure.
And so we rolled her on her side, and Emily tells me, she's like, her breathing's slowing down, get her back on her back. So gets her back on her back, and we're trying to find her pulse, and it's fading and it's gone. I see her start watching her watch, waiting to see if it's just part of the seizure or she might have just been holding her breath, like that's common with a seizure. And like a minute into it, she's like, we gotta start CPR. Well, at that point, she let it be known that, like, I don't have a heartbeat. So she had gone back into cardiac arrest.
Oh, my goodness.
So that,
At Veterans Park, in the parking lot.
in the grass in the back of the park. But as we proceeded, she began doing 30, and she was like, we're family, so she's like, I'm giving 2 breaths. So she'd do 30 by 2. And then when everything was going down, I mean, we still couldn't, no pulse, nobody could find it. One of the Alabaster officers shows up with AED. She snatches it, starts hooking it up. By then, the other nurse that was next to us, which I had no idea was a nurse, this was a blessing, she run over and slid down on her knees and let it be known she's also a registered nurse. So they began working together to try to resuscitate her. Well, I promise you, I was on the phone with 911 for a long time, and they were asking me to describe what was happening, and I was like, she's not breathing, no heartbeat, and both of them were taking turns doing CPR. And my brother's an Alabaster police officer, so by the time he got there, the EMS had showed up, and she began gasping. He hit his knees, and he went to start chest compressions, and I'm glad because he's a stocky guy.
Right.
So,
My chest hurt bad enough after she got done with me.
so
I can't imagine.
with that being said, the EMS looked at him and said, hey, she took a breath. None of us saw it. She did. It's very faint. And then she slowly would get. But the part that confirmed with us there was no heartbeat was when they threw that AED to her, when it would tell us no pulse detected, continue CPR. The third time, I was starting to panic because I thought, uh-oh. So after she started breathing, of course, EMS gets her loaded up, and I'm kind of trying to get my thoughts together. Here's the best part of it. So the whole time she's on the ground, my mom, I remember her saying, start praying, and good thing the Holy Spirit intercedes on our behalf, and we're at a loss for words because I didn't have any.
Absolutely.
And but there was 30 or 40 people standing in a circle, and I bet I heard over and over and over, in the name of Jesus, in the name of Jesus. And I couldn't hear what they were praying, but I could hear that. So I was like, okay. So me as a believer, you get caught in a situation, it's like, why couldn't I come up with words to say?
Right.
At that time, and I did. I called our pastor later, and had a conversation. He said, remember, he intercedes on your behalf in times where you can't come up with it. Well, we get to the hospital, and they did everything. They checked her to make sure she wasn't on drugs. Of course, she's clean. And
That makes you feel real good, doesn't
yeah.
it?
I mean, I was delusional because
She was-
I had lost oxygen.
Yep.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And so I was acting crazy.
How long were they doing CPR?
10 minutes is what they said.
eight and a
to 10
half,
minutes.
something like that.
Wow.
So I went without
I lost
oxygen.
count.
And
About to say that's
that's the first thing they said to me, ma'am, do you do drugs? And I'm like, no, I just lost oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm acting weird. I'm sorry.
Well, we come up in there, me and my brother did, and she looked at us like, what are we doing and why are we here?
I was so confused.
sure.
We had to explain to her, like, we don't know what happened.
I looked at him. I said, why do y'all look so worried?
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with you?
You quit breathing, and
I'm sorry.
a lot of people pushed, and here you are.
Sure.
So
So y'all get there, they're examining and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Every test comes back perfectly fine.
well, and an hour and a half later, they were like, we have no medical reason to keep her, and I was like, excuse me? So I had to pretty much carry her out of the hospital.
They didn't wheel me out. I just had to walk, which I couldn't
Did they
walk.
put you in a wheelchair?
No. I couldn't walk.
I won't talk about the hospital.
Yeah,
That's
we-
another
I'll
story.
ask that question, which one later.
As we press forward, getting her home, that's what began. I had to shut everything down to be able to stay with her because I couldn't leave her by herself.
I couldn't
Yeah,
drive.
heck yeah.
And then,
I couldn't.
which God always has a way of changing your losses to blessings, So in a sense, I was like, everything's worked out the way it's supposed to.
And it was during hunting season, and I felt terrible. I was like, I'm so sorry.
So babysitting her, I was like, open the day of gun season comes up, and we're sitting around the
Did you
house.
drag her into the woods with you?
I wasn't going to
Just
ask
hang
that
out
question.
right
I was
here.
curious.
I chose to go. I was like, let's go.
We,
Put a harness on, you'll be fine.
That's right. Let's go.
30, 40 minutes before dark, she looks at me, and I told her about an 8 I had on camera, and open the day of gun season, and I said, we can park the truck right here. It's on our lease. It's perfectly legal. And I said, I'll pull the keys out of the ignition, stick them in my pocket. And I said, we'll see if he crosses right there. Sure enough, 10 minutes before dark, he's standing there looking at us.
It was pretty cool.
And I didn't shoot him. We let him walk. But
We just watched.
it was, and then I realized she was videoing, making fun of me.
Oh,
So,
You know how the
Nice.
hunters are whispering in there
yeah.
yeah.
on video.
But
How many times in your head did you see the shot and think the shot?
For the whole 6 minutes I had him in the scope.
Oh my goodness.
I had anyway, long story short, as we went through that, with her, having to be with her, if I wasn't with her, our daughter was with her, my mom was with her.
Our son or daughter-in-law.
Yeah, son, daughter-in-law, somebody had to be around.
And
So,
I like being by myself. I like my alone time, and it about drove me crazy.
Sure.
so-
But you can't afford for her to have an episode with nobody there.
No, could you
Because-
imagine? I
Yeah.
mean, that would have been terrible.
No, we went through the whole. We went through Heart South, cardiologist, Dr. Fino. He was good. No, he went through and he
Months
started
of testing.
months of testing. Turns out he told her it's like the Great Reset. Said her heart's probably better than mine and his now. But
Yeah, no damage.
and then
That's just
the neurologist did the in-house EEG and then he brought it and did
So
the at-home study.
if I could interject a little humor to the IT guy, she unplugged it and plugged it back in.
And
everything was fine.
I'm good to go for another 50, 60 years. I'm good.
Wow.
But
And again, I'm again, Shane mentioned I'm the IT guy. That would drive me crazy.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
that
No
there's
answers.
no answers.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a
How?
blessing and a curse because I'm fine, but something wasn't fine.
Yeah.
well, the aftermath of that, every time you hear an ambulance, you look over and she's crying. Every time we pass Veterans Park, she starts hyperventilating. Every time and she's finally gotten past all that.
I've had to
but
go to some therapy.
therapy.
I've
But,
got PTSD.
Wow.
That's
Well, I imagine.
but
every
it's okay.
I give her some good laugh. I sat down on the side of the tub the other day going to talk to her while she was doing her hair and fell backwards and she laughed at me until she realized I actually did get hurt. The whole back of my leg was bruised.
Y'all have been married for a while. That's
Yeah.
what we
Going on
married couples
19
do.
years.
Wow.
Did you fall down or did she push you down?
I felt
No, I was over there doing my makeup.
Hey, this is a safe space. Just wink twice if you need us to.
yeah, I know
If you
what-
feel in danger, just wink.
No, she started laughing and she was like, "Are you good?" I was like, "No."
Wow.
But it's, I don't know.
So
Sometimes we just don't know why things happen, but God has a reason.
yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. So what do you think? What have you learned?
Oh my
I
goodness.
mean, through this, because
First of all, I'm in control of nothing. Like absolutely nothing. And I'm not still here for my own because of something I've done. It's
Yeah.
because of him and he's using me for something. I might never know.
wow,
But I have to live for him, and do the right thing as best as I know how.
Sure.
And it's not my testimony, it's his. Because all glory goes to him. And,
Yeah.
you can let it get you down, which I did for a while. It was rough. I was scared to go anywhere. I couldn't drive. But when I started driving, I was terrified. So I was like, what if it happens again and I run off the road and kill somebody,
Yeah.
all that goes through your mind. Yeah.
But you have to push that away and realize, put your faith and trust in him and he'll get you through it. And you can't just stop living.
Yeah, I mean, one way to, and it's not a good way to look at it, but he put you through that episode.
Right.
But he also made sure there were 2 nurses there.
Exactly.
There's a police officer with an AED.
Yeah.
All these people are like, hey, you're going to experience this and it's going to suck.
Yeah.
But I got you.
But
Just-
if
yeah, I
somebody
got you.
if somebody that was there witnessed that didn't believe and it got
Yeah.
them to thinking,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, there's a higher, there's a God,
Well,
it was worth it.
who knows? Because to your point, you're there. You're
Yeah.
not breathing. You've got all these people that are working on you, and you've got this army of people that you probably. I'm going to guess you probably didn't know everybody there that was praying for you.
Oh no.
There's someone that saw that, and in their
Yeah.
mind, I think maybe they're seeing how God works in a situation, and that they saw the power of God moving there
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
really bring you back.
So it's all worth it.
He takes the bad things that happen to us and uses it for
Yeah.
his good,
Yeah.
for his glory.
Yeah.
But
For his, not ours. And that's,
at the same time, I'm a guy that has to stay into something. So you're talking about changing my whole point of view. Psalm 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I'm God." Well, guess what? When all that happened, I got brake checked.
Yeah.
I got stopped, and that's the first thing that came to mind when we got home that night. I was like, I got you. You know, here we are again. You know, different year.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm glad you knew the verse because I've been saying that for 11 episodes now and I didn't know the verse. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but it's be still and know that I am God.
Yep. I stay in a few, a few verses here and there, but
Well, you know, when our daughter-in-law, she, it really changed, it changed her and how she thought. And it's been a blessing to see, because she said, Amanda, she said, I prayed the whole way to the hospital that God wouldn't let me lose you. And she still to this day will put stuff out there, you know, about, because she was real close to the Lord, and then things happen in her life, like, you know, everybody does, and you're like, wait, why is this happening?
Yeah.
But she's really come back around, and I've seen a huge change in her
You
since
know,
that.
that's the great thing about our merciful God, right?
Yeah.
No matter how far you stray, it's
Absolutely.
it's one step back.
I mean, I would do it all over again just to, if it would help somebody, save somebody.
I don't know about all that.
No, I
That's
Lane's like, I don't.
I mean, I didn't know what was going on. I
think-
was just there, so.
All right, Lord, forgive me. I think He's given us enough to work with for now.
But I woke up in the middle. You talk about something strange. I woke up going over the railroad tracks on 119 in Alabaster, right before you get to 31. And that was the first time I knew what was going on or where I was. I woke up in the ambulance and I'm looking around and I hear the sirens and I'm like, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know how old I was. I didn't know where I lived. I knew nothing. And from that point to the time we got to Shelby, when I rolled up to Shelby, I knew who I was. But it's just crazy how quick something like that can happen. You can go from having a wonderful time, I was playing with our nieces, to going into cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
I tell you, I think you said it perfectly when you said you realize you're not in control.
Oh, no, not at
And
all.
that drives all of us absolutely
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
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 Just gotta lay it down and give it to
Exactly. I grabbed my iPad when you were talking about that because I'd actually read another part about be still and know that I'm God. This it was in some of the reading, and again I'm doing a reading plan that I'm like woefully behind in this year. But I saw it a couple days ago, and it talks about be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him, and that's just the first part of the verse, right? The second part says, "Fret not yourself over the one who prospers in his way, over the man who carries out evil devices." So, not anyone evil acting against you guys, but the peace that you can see when someone is acting ill against you or mean against you, or you're facing something here that you don't know what caused it, but it's had huge consequences on your life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't fret about it. That's so easy to say, but so tough to do.
Yeah. Well, and that's what the enemy wants us to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you were fixing to say, just don't fret. It's not that big a deal. And I'm like, that's so easy to say, but it's so hard to live out.
Well,
So hard to live out.
I mean, do you see how I worry? We're dealing with car stuff. Like,
Oh, yeah.
car stuff is like my Achilles heel, I guess.
And you've had a lot of it in
And
last year.
it's hard not to worry about it. But again, my car stuff is nothing compared to being carried across
Yeah.
a parking lot because you're not breathing.
Yeah.
But
it's a big deal to you, and so I mean, it's
like if God knows how many times a sparrow's gonna hop, He's gonna know. If He knows how many hairs are on my head,
that's right.
which granted is nowhere near as a challenge as it used to be many years ago. I laugh at that verse now, but it's true. But He knows where everyone left, when they left, and where they wound up at.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the thing you learn the most about going through things like that is what Amanda said. You're not in control. He's the one in control of your destiny. He's the one that's actually directing your path. It's our choice to listen to His voice and to follow where He's taking us. And it's our choice to listen, or it's our choice to go the other direction. And now I'm more prone to listen to His voice and try to follow direction. And I think in a lot of ways with what happened with her, it grounded me back down to what's important. And something I've learned by all the loved ones we've lost over several years. He makes it clear, naked you came and naked you'll leave. Nothing on your body that you got here is going to be taken with you.
Yep.
And
Blessed be the name of the Lord.
that's it.
Yep.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, if you're lucky, 6 good friends to carry your body, and
Let's figure out who the 6 are.
yeah,
Me too.
I think I have to make a list, right?
that or one strong one.
Well, you know, and this is one thing I've had a problem dealing with is guilt. You know, you see all these children, just like the floods in Texas.
Texas, yeah,
You see all these things, and you wonder why did he spare me?
right.
You know, I always joke with everybody. I'm like, he's not ready for all this drama and meanness up in heaven. So he's like, wait a minute. But seriously, it makes you got a little bit of guilt there.
Yeah.
You're like, why? But,
Yeah.
but we're not supposed to. We don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, we were talking about the plan with Ginger, one of the people that was on a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
But you know, we have no visibility into what the grand plan is.
No,
But
we don't.
I can put faith in it and I can trust it because
Yeah.
I've seen in my life, y'all have shared about how God has carried y'all through it. You know, He's faithful. You know, we'll continue to see you through regardless of the circumstances.
That's right. So we just have to try to shine His light and share with others and keep pushing forward.
And that's, you know, and I take comfort in that. It's kind of a scary
Yeah,
thought
too.
that I'm not in control, but you know what? It's also comforting.
I was about to say it's kind of comforting because it would be kind of scary if we were.
Yeah, I mean, we all want to think we're so much in control of our lives.
Yeah.
But if you truly were, like you truly had to make every decision about everything that goes on in your life every day, you know, whether it be health or, you know, what have you, and things that go on around you, we couldn't do it.
Oh,
No.
I'd screw it up.
You
No,
know,
it's just
I mean,
bad.
there's no
It
way,
would be real bad.
you know.
Yeah, you don't want to be in control.
No. And one thing it's taught me, I think the both of us in this is what y'all said, you know, we're not in control. It's also taught me that when you're sharing with others, not to be ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ, because at the end of the day, are you trying to please men? Or are you
Yeah.
trying to win God? Are you
Right.
trying to be a part of God?
Right.
I don't think we can ever win God. You're either in His corner
Yeah.
or you're not.
Right.
And so 2 Timothy 1:8 is a verse that I have stuck on for just as long as I can remember, but it says, "So do not be ashamed to testify about our Lord, or ashamed of me as a prisoner, but join with me in suffering for the gospel by the power of God." And the very end of that, and I like to break down verses when I get into them, it's by the very power of God we're all even here.
Absolutely.
So the fact that He spoke us all into existence, you know, and I told somebody, I told you last night, I said, somebody doesn't think there is a God. I said, look out there at the lightning bug, sees a little butt light up.
Yeah.
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 The simplest of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, it's just a simple thing.
Yep. Yep.
So,
I've got some friends that are don't believe there's a God, and I struggle with how do you convince them, or not convince them, but you know, you can't rush at them and be like, oh, there's a God, nah, because then they're just going to turn away. You know what I mean? But I mean, how do you know? It's tough.
you have to look for avenues to be relational.
Yeah.
Well, they have to see it through you.
Mm-hmm.
That's.
I mean, that's the only way.
Yep.
You're a car guy, so I mean, you look for, if they're into cars, you talk to them about cars, but you look for a way to play that in there somehow, and you're not going to win everybody.
Oh yeah.
I mean, some people they're gonna turn their nose up and be like, I don't care what you say, you can't prove it. But it's been proven.
Oh yeah.
You know, over 2,000 years, the word has stood. And
Well, and just if you look at the world, like what are the chances that everything is perfect for a human being to survive? You know, the right amount of oxygen, the right amount, you know what I mean? Like there's so many things,
Yeah.
you know, that this all didn't just randomly happen. So, but
well, and I also look at that too. And throughout Scripture, you see that godlessness in the last days, and it's right here in
oh yeah.
2 Timothy 3. He said, but mark this, there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not lovers of the good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power. And it calls us to have nothing to do with them. Yeah. So at this point, I think we're called, you step up, you share, and you do the best you can with what he gave you. But at the end of the day, it's up to them to make the decision.
Oh, yeah.
And it's tough to see people that you love and that you care about, and you know if they don't.
Just keep in mind the power of prayer can change hearts.
Yeah.
That's true. You can pray for somebody. It might not happen 15 minutes from now, 15 days, 15 months, or 15 years. Then you may get a knock at your door one day and be like, hey, you know.
I got a question.
Yeah.
You know.
So.
I mean, think about your friend Bruce, how many times that he prayed for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, this is probably not the situation anybody would have chosen.
Well, that story with him goes back to I was a 10-year-old kid sitting in the back seat of the Chevrolet pickup he owned, extended cab Chevrolet pickup. We were headed to Perry County, Alabama, deer hunting that morning. 3:30 in the morning, an oak tree fell across the road and we hit it.
Wow.
So, and all he said he could do was when he looked up, he looked in the mirror and he seen my face. He said, "I'm fixing to kill this kid." And he said it scared him to death. And it hit home with him. Me and him were really close for a long time.
Right.
Of course, life gets in the way and everybody gets their distance. But that resonated with me for a while because you think about, I was that 10-year-old kid. It's part of his testimony. What made him turn back,
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But there was, when you overall having things that stick out, for example, like my granddad, when he passed, like everybody's like sad time. The one thing that stood out to me to this day that I heard that pastor as he's preaching that funeral, and he was like, he looked at all of us and said, "You young men sitting over there got a long legacy to live up to." I was like, "Oh boy."
No pressure.
No pressure. Yeah, because there was a picture of him, my granddad, doing a revival, standing on a flat-bottom John boat at a pond.
Nice.
So with people sitting around him
With his suit on.
with his suit on.
Wow.
So my granddad was a pastor as well. So I remember going to little churches that he pastored with him, and he was a staunch hellfire brimstone Southern Baptist pastor, right? And but yeah, same thing at his funeral. I remember that they had when everybody was gathered there, they asked actually if anyone had joined the ministry because of my granddad, and the number of men that stood up was amazing, and that made me think,
wow.
How many other lives did he touch? Not people that just went into ministry, but that became believers because of him, became Christians, came to faith.
Yeah.
And how many did they touch, and how many did they touch, and that ripple effect that we don't think about a lot.
Yeah.
Well, when you lead one person, they go out and they repeat. It turns out pretty substantial, but you never know the number. That's in his. So
he'll let you know one day.
That's right. One day.
Well, that's like the last thing you want to see when you leave this earth is somebody that you loved or somebody that you were close to that you didn't share with, not in heaven because you failed to do what he put you there for. And also, I don't want to be I put you in a position, son, why didn't you do what I put you there for? It's like, okay,
I saw a meme the other day, or a reel or whatever, and it's like the guy just gets to heaven and he sits down at the dinner table and he looks at Jesus and he's like, "I'm so glad to be here," and he sees an empty seat and he's like, "Are we still waiting for people?" And he's like, "No, that seat was for the person. Remember when I told you to share my gospel with somebody and you didn't?"
Ouch.
That was their seat.
Yep.
And you're like, "Oh my goodness."
Yeah, that's I take it from a different perspective now. by the way, back in January on the 16th, 2 months to the day after her episode, Amanda kept pushing me about I needed to go to the woods, and I said, no, I'm going to take you to the neurologist. And my mom said, I'm going to take her. You're going to the woods. So at 6:53 that morning, I texted him and said, he's down. It was the big 8 that I'd been playing chase with.
I got you.
So, whatever. That was a fun part. But it was talking about life changes, though, when all this comes up and you don't really see, I mean, you can't see it coming.
No.
And I mean, everything's unexpected, and you, and I don't care who you are, you in the moment, if it's somebody's direct, like I've been CPR certified and all that stuff, and I know it, but I went blank.
Oh yeah.
So at the same time, it was like I froze, and that was the wrong time to freeze.
Well, that's your wife. I mean, you don't think you're going to have to do that.
And luckily,
Yeah.
he
I just
put.
wish we had answers. We
Well,
still don't know.
I'm thankful he put the ones around us he did that day, because,
Sure.
Yeah.
or it's like she said, glad we weren't at home. Even though I think I'd have snapped out of it, but still,
If you were there. But,
yeah, that's
Yeah.
the case.
Never know.
Yeah, you could have been outside on the back deck or whatever.
Yeah.
And might not have gone back inside for 20 or 30 minutes. And
I'll drive her nuts
It's
now. Are you good?
Fine.
We're getting the updates off of our Apple Watch to yours just to make sure everything's good.
I'm not even wearing it.
Yeah, if she had it set up on the emergency side where
There
it
you
would
go.
it would
There you
call
go.
me or ping me.
There you go.
So,
It still does when I wear it.
but
Wow.
it's what it is.
But I'm
Guys,
here by the grace
thank
of the
y'all.
good Lord.
Thank y'all for telling your story. I
No,
didn't
thanks
get
for
your book. Was there
having
anything
us.
else you wanted to?
How long do you have? No,
I did not bring my notebook on
I've
purpose.
got 2. Oops, at the table.
Well, I was gonna. You're fine. I didn't say. Obviously, this is great. Thank y'all. Is there anything else
Thank
y'all wanted to share?
Thanks for having us.
oh yeah, of course.
We'd be here half the night, so
Oh, believe
Well,
me.
that's somebody
You know
else for a part two.
We would love to have you back and
Yeah,
hear
sure.
more about it. I kind of want to hear more about y'all's life and all your family stuff and all that too.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
boy. We've got
So-
some
it's good.
fun stuff.
Yeah. I think we all do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all do.
Well, and that's kind of why we started this podcast is to let everybody get their messages out. I mean, everybody's got these stories,
Oh, yeah.
you know, these wonderful
Absolutely.
things, and you tell your immediate family or friends, and that's about it. But
Yep.
maybe we could reach 30 more people on this
And
podcast.
that's what it's about.
Well,
You know?
the key to that is every believer has a testimony. Every
Yeah.
believer has a story that they can share with somebody else.
And it's not ours, it's Him working through us.
Yep. And every believer, one may not resonate with the person they're speaking to, but the next one comes along might.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes
Yeah.
ours. I don't think it necessarily. It dives deep, but I don't necessarily think it's the worst thing that's ever happened. But at the same time, it's the way it always unfolds.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, and I gave y'all the short version.
Well, I mean, I'm just sitting here, and
It was a very short
if I'm standing behind you in line at Publix, I don't know about this. I don't know about how the
Right.
things that God's doing in your life, but hearing this, wow, what a great and faithful God we serve.
Amen.
Yep. And it's kind of a reminder, like you say, to be in line in Publix with somebody else that maybe you're getting irritated because they're moving a little slow,
Yeah.
or whatever that is. You don't know what they're just going through. You don't know what they're dealing with. And I'm the first one. My wife somewhere, her head is spinning because I said that. Because I'm the worst one about, God dang, hurry up or
Yeah.
whatever, and getting irritated with people. But it's just a reminder that you just don't know.
You don't know what they're going through.
Yeah.
If somebody's been rude to you, or
Mhm.
you don't know. There's something there that's bothering them, or they've been through something. You have to have grace.
Yep.
Easier said than done sometimes.
Absolutely. All right.
Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry. Forgot the thing we always ask at the end.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And you already shared a verse. If you want to stand on that one, perfectly fine. But do you have a favorite verse that you'd like to share?
Oh, goodness. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. For I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls.
Why does
Okay.
that? Why
I
does that
just love
speak?
that
Just
one. I've always loved that one. That was one of my grandmother's favorite verses, and I just always I don't know. It
I
just
love
brings me comfort.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Lane, how about you?
Well, we'll go back to Luke chapter 4, verse 42 through 44. There's a couple of them. At daybreak, Jesus went out to a solitary place. The people were looking for him, and when they came to where he was, they tried to keep him from leaving, but he said, I must preach the good news of the kingdom of God to the other towns also, because that is why I was sent. And he kept on preaching in the synagogues of Judea. And just as a reminder, that same thing, that's what we're called to do, is take it out beyond the doors of your house, beyond the doors of your church.
Yep.
Going in the build, when we go to that building on Sunday, that's what it is. It's a building. It's the people that gather and make the body.
Yep.
So.
Yep. I've heard that for 20 plus years from our pastor. And it's as true as it'll ever be.
Yep.
And I've heard a lot of people that are, when you mention God or Jesus, well, that's private between me and him. No, then you don't really get it. You know.
No, it's not. There's nothing private about Jesus.
No.
I don't have in my life. I don't have my work life. I don't have my home life. I don't have my religious life over here. God is intertwined through all that. That has to be that way.
Yep. And he better be first.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I can't separate who I am in Christ from anything else, right?
Yep.
So,
That's it.
You gonna stand on
I'm
your
staying, man. Ain't nothing wrong with be still and know that I am God. I'm
staying.
staying.
I even found you.
I'm
more
being
support.
still.
It's the struggle's real.
I stand on mine too. 1 Corinthians 1:9. I'll actually read it today.
Okay.
God is faithful, by whom you were called into the fellowship of his Son, Jesus Christ our Lord. I take incredible comfort that God is faithful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
He
matter
is for
no
sure.
matter how unfaithful I am,
That's
he
right.
is faithful in all things.
Yep.
He
Yep.
is.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate y'all being here and sharing your story and agreeing to
Enjoyed
come
it.
back for episode 2.
Absolutely.
There you
We
go.
got a lot.
I don't know if you realized you agreed to it, but you did. So
We can do it.
And many times y'all want to have us
So maybe the first Saturday after Thanksgiving, you won't be doing anything on that day.
be hunting or something.
I figured that's what rifle season fires up.
Let's.
so.
I'm mainly a bow hunter. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You need to
we
meet
could,
my buddy Derek.
we could take the podcast on the road and maybe find a big blind.
We could.
I think
we
we'd be
could
a little
park-
too rowdy for that.
Well,
but,
we could park the old 250 on the dirt road and have it from there.
There you go. There you go.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap up this episode, and we just appreciate everybody joining us and spending some time here with us. And everybody just remember that God loves you. God is faithful. God has a plan, and everybody just have a great night.
Thanks.
Thank you again for joining us for this episode of the Tell Me About Your Jesus podcast. We hope you've been reminded of God's faithfulness. He loves you, has a plan for your life, and is always working around you. We invite you to visit us on our website, tellmeaboutyourjesus.com, and share your story with us. You can also reach us by emailing hosts@tellmeaboutyourjesus.com, or you can interact with us on our social media channels. We'll see you next time.